Hey everybody, this is Perch, and we finally have new creators on Action Comics and Superman in 2021. So there's a lot of things going on. So first off, writer Phillip Kennedy Johnson, who's Last God, Future State Superman Worlds of War, and he will be joining artists Phil Hester and Eric Gapstur for a two-part story that spans both Superman and Action Comics. And Johnson is going to be writing both books. Now, what's interesting is it's unclear if this is a long-term thing or a relatively short-term thing. DC Comics is announcing it for a relatively short period of time. It's worth noting that Phillip Kennedy Johnson's also over at Marvel launching an Aliens ongoing series, but why not? So they are calling it The Golden Age, and the comic is basically promising, some kind of space action. Phillip Kennedy Johnson said he was very inspired by the Christopher Reeve Superman films and wants to give that same kind of physical reaction, the same kind of lofty, aspirational Superman as that Christopher Reeve kind of icon character. So what we are also promised is John Kent is back from the Legion of Superheroes timeline in the 31st century. He is going to be fighting cosmic threats alongside his father. But when an interdimensional breach opens near Earth, John recognizes the creatures that emerge, the cosmic leviathans the Legion of Superheroes credit with the death of Superman. So he's basically using some of his future information that he got with the Legion to basically help his father fight off this big threat. And in addition to that, the title will have a backup series, Tales of Metropolis by writer Sean Lewis, who did the Superman Metropolis book, and artist Sammy Barcy, who has been on Harley Quinn, that will really be following Jimmy Olsen. Feels like Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen is back, but it's going to feature Jimmy Olsen getting into wacky adventures, beginning with Bibbo. And then, as we kind of continue to roll it out, they're promising additional backups. There's one by Becky Cloonan and Michael Conrad, who are on the Wonder Woman book. They're going to be joining forces with Michael Onan-Oming to continue the Midnighter story that was in DC Future State, and kind of explore more of that. But all of this, basically, we get the Golden Age, which is this two-part crossover, really kicking off Phillip Kennedy Johnson on the book. And then it is listed he will continue. Again, I can't exactly tell if this is a big long-term plan or not, but it sounds long-term enough. But after this initial kickoff, the team in April will be Phillip Kennedy Johnson on writing, and then artist Scott Gillespie on Superman and Daniel Sempier on Action Comics. And then they will be doing a couple issues or some issues, or it's unclear how many they're doing there, but it's leading up to a huge Superman event. They want to say they're going to make a massive they're not saying status quo change, just big Superman story that's going to continue through the year, and basically, well, no, I take it back. The quote is saying it will change Superman's status quo forever and having a lasting impact across the entire DC universe. We always love that. And that will feature Michael Janin, and he's going to be working with Phillip Kennedy Johnson on some of this stuff. So finally, a Superman Action Comics team. The era of Bendis has ended in December. And to fair as fair's due, the last issue of Superman that Bendis gave us was not terrible. I think this villain that he'd introduced, this kind of new magic-based alien villain, it seemed kind of rushed. It was never really fleshed out. But you did get that feeling of kind of hope and optimism out of the title that was sadly missing for the majority of his run. So I guess that is nice. But at any rate, the era of Bendis is over, and the era of Phillip Kennedy Johnson has begun. And I was getting hints that there would be a different writer on Action and Superman, but it is not true. It is one writer, Phillip Kennedy Johnson, on both books. And it looks like a lot of coordination between the two. Like I mentioned, this first storyline, The Golden Age, will be both comics tying into each other. So you basically have to read both. Superman facing this cosmic alien threat that could lead to the death of Superman, with some introduction with John Kent. No word on John Kent being de-aged. Sorry, folks, although Super Sons did ship yesterday on digital, and it is going to print. And at least from the first 24 hours, apparently Super Sons did really well, despite Comixology not not promoting it really whatsoever. Oh well. At any rate, Phillip Kennedy Johnson, our new Superman writer. There is one more Superman series was also announced today. It's a little bit of a weird one. It's following much in the line of kind of Batman Black and White and the Batman Urban Legends. It's an anthology series called Superman Red and Blue. And basically, it will feature, it's a 6-issue limited series that will be told by a number of different creators, including John Ridley, who will be doing a story, Brandon Easton, Wes Craig, Marguerite Bennett, and Dan Waters and Danny, the Coffin Bound creative team, are doing these stories. And it's a little odd. I mean, it looks like they're the title, as the title suggests, just 2 colors, red and blue, will be the primary colors for the printed books, which is an interesting gimmick. I'm not sure if that really does much for anybody, but okay. At any rate, Superman Red and Blue will also go on sale in March with a $5.99 cover price. I don't know that we have a price for Superman and Action Comics. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. I just haven't hit it yet. I'd be surprised if it was, even with the backup stories, and I'm sure they're still sticking to that $4.99 kind of price point. But that is the big Superman news day. Phillip Kennedy Johnson, our new Superman writer, I would go ahead and go out on a limb and say for at least the rest of 2021. And they're promising a big Superman event, what looks like summer. With Michael Janin and changing the status quo of Superman forever. What he's going to do is he's going to go back to having a secret identity and then reveal it again to the world. I think that is sarcasm. That's not news. But the question remains to you. So we are seeing Phillip Kennedy Johnson on the Superman Worlds of War. He has, I would say, a pretty good track record. I think there's... people have been pretty pleased with, things like The Last God, and I think he's got a pretty good reputation. His social media presence is usually pretty optimistic and pretty happy. He's seen as a fan favorite by a lot of people who sit on kind of all sides of the spectrum. Whether he seems like somebody who loves comics, and definitely that comes across in the interview and in a lot of what he does. So, hats off to him. Good for you getting this. He's gone from an active soldier in the military to being a musician, a teacher, and now the head writer on Superman and Action Comics, really heading that universe up. The art, I will say, it's fine. It looks a little cartoonish in many ways, but it probably does play a little bit more to what DC is doing. Not tucked in this announcement, but we've heard other places, including at the Fan Zone and comments from Jim Lee, is that almost more so than Batman, DC really wants to promote Superman as a character that can exist outside of the US, that they're going to do more over in Japan, where there's an announcement at least of some DC characters starting up in January in a manga type format. And I think you're going to see more of Superman trying to be pushed to some of these other regions. So, it kind of makes sense with the art and with some of the storyline that they're wanting to do that they're wanting to really tell some cosmic stories with the character as well. They're not going to have him, walking across the United States. But anyway, there's some other announcements to come. DC is teasing that we will hear more about Superman in the days and weeks to come, that really this is just kicking off in March with this 2-part series. And then there will be kind of more build in April, May. And then, like I said, I'm reading between the lines here that around June or something, we're getting this kind of really big, massive event, they're saying. And they're saying this massive event will primarily be in Action Comics. So again, not sure if we're going to continue to still get these Superman Action Comics tied together. But it's a big take. So this, all in all, we've heard now the majority of the big announcements coming out from DC. I think there's really 2 left. There's who's going to be writing Justice League, what's a creative team on that book, and given that you've got a pretty big movie that HBO Max wants to promote in 2021, it feels like they're going to want to do something significant there. And then we got a lot of other characters. We still need to learn about The Flash and Aquaman. I expect we will hear some more things later this afternoon or certainly in the morning, as solicitation should be out tomorrow. And then the other big question, the elephant in the room, is where's Bendis? Is he continuing with Legion of Superheroes or going on to prestige formats, or what is the future of Bendis? It remains to be seen. But Question for you. Now, Phillip Kennedy Johnson on Superman Action Comics. Are you in for it? Is this exciting news that you've been waiting to happen? Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and thanks for listening.